to be able to share the update of the First Steps to Manager book with you, because at the beginning of this month, I celebrated my 17th anniversary with Forever. Yes, I was 18 when I joined. And when I first started, we didn't have any sort of planning manual at all. We used a spiral-bound notebook, and there were a few pages of notes that were copied from the sponsor's book into the new FBO's book. And it kept things really simple and really focused. But if you weren't used to having meetings, and if you weren't used to remembering things or using the notes in the book as a prompt, it took a new person maybe a bit longer to learn how to do a planning meeting. And so a few years ago, I don't know how many years ago now, it must be 7 or 8, maybe even 10 years ago, we launched the First Steps to Manager workbook. And I'm really, really thrilled and proud to have been part of that project group really from the beginning. So I've been part of the various updates and revisions. And just when you think it can't get any better, it does. And the good news is, because we come together as leaders, we're very current with what's needed in the field, so we are always, always thinking about what's going to help the new person get started faster and what's going to help the sponsor help the sponsor get their new person get started on the right tracks. And so in my 17 years, just quickly a little bit about me. For those of you who don't know me, my background is very traditional business. When I left school, I didn't have a planned career and did all sorts of weird and wonderful things. I'm Canadian. I came to the UK 23 years ago. That's a long 1 year, isn't it? And when I came to the UK to pursue my career, I met my husband, and today I've got 2 amazing boys who are nearly 15 and nearly 18. And I knew when I started my family, I didn't want to work full time, and what I saw in Forever was an opportunity to work flexibly and still raise my own children. So I knew I was in for work, but it was going to give me the chance to create memories raising my own children. And now that they're at the age they're at, that's the most valuable thing that Forever has given me, is no regrets, because I've done absolutely everything with my children. I've been a part of every step of their lives, and now that they're coming to adulthood, the biggest gift Forever has given me is time. But I've also learned in my 17 years that as your team grows, it's not about you working harder and harder. And as your team grows, it's not about you working longer and longer hours. You see, to keep it flexible and to build a residual income, we need duplication. And I can remember going to my first business presentation and not quite getting all the percentages and all the numbers, but what I did twig straight away was this is a business about people and about duplication. You know, a few people working with a few people who work with a few people. And the First Steps to Manager, since it was introduced, really helps you get new people started on the right tracks. And if they start on the right tracks and stay on the right tracks, you will increase that duplication. So as your team grows, the growth isn't dependent on you, it's dependent on the system and what's being coached and duplicated throughout your group. So we've recently done another update to the First Steps to Manager, again keeping it current. So what we'll do is I'll just take you through the updates. It's not going to be a planning meeting. I'm just going to show you the pages that have been updated and why they've been updated and how it will help you and how it will help your new team member. And then I'll share some thoughts at the end about being the best sponsor, being the best team leader, so you can wrap that around the current update. And so that you know, you can purchase copies of the First Steps to Manager here today out in the hall, and they are in the new version is in the Start Your Journey packs. You can download it off Forever Knowledge, so it's available everywhere. It has been now for a couple of weeks. So if you haven't seen it, and if you haven't got a copy for yourself, I would really encourage you to take some away with you today and get rid of your old ones. In fact, some of the new people I'm working with who had their Start Your Journey pack before, just before this version went in their pack, I actually replaced it for them. And you'll see why as we go through. You ready? Okay. Oh, good, you're with me. Right, okay, here we go. So this is just a copy of the actual First Steps to Manager book. I didn't want slides. I wanted to use the actual book that you're going to be using that comes in the Start Your Journey pack. So we start with goals and dreams. So this looks very much the same. What we've added here are some examples of what might be a new FBO's targets or goals or dreams. And I want to take a moment here because more often than not, the sponsor and the new team members skip over this too quickly. And I want to just, I guess, emphasize that, we're not in the business of becoming product experts. We're in the business of understanding what people want more of and what they want less of. And this is where it happens in these first few pages. And if you refer to the examples and maybe even show your book with your goals written down, it helps the new team member to be a bit more confident and perhaps a bit more courageous about setting their own goals. Because what I found is, and you've probably found the same, is that when we take new people through their goals and dreams, 95% of the people have never been asked, have never been encouraged, so it can be a really uncomfortable process to go through. So we've mapped out some examples in these first few pages because everything starts here at the beginning. So this has stayed pretty much the same. Obviously it has a new aloe drinks in it. Okay, so this is where you're going to see the biggest change. And I know when I was first taken through the marketing plan, I might have nodded in all the right places to give my sponsor the impression that I knew what she was talking about, but the reality is I didn't have a clue. I just saw bubbles and percentages. Does anybody feel the same? And now, when I take new people through these first few pages, I can spot when they're doing the same, and the glazed look comes over their face. And even when you ask them, do you understand this? Do you feel overwhelmed? And they say, oh no, it's all fine. You know darn well they're lying. Because people want to make a good impression, don't they? They don't want to appear to not be clever. Well, you know what? It does take a few goes at it for most of us to understand it. So this is where I'm really excited. And we've just taken the information from the First Steps to Manager training slides, which you can download off Forever Knowledge. So the information in here, all the examples are identical to the First Steps to Manager slides that are available to everybody. So if you're doing a team training or a webinar, people have their workbooks and you've got the slides, everything matches. So here will we take people through our examples of their income, because as exciting or not exciting as percentages and CCs can or may not be when someone is new, what people really want to understand is, how am I going to earn the money? Yes? It's how am I going to earn the money? So they can see through different examples of the different core products of what income or what retail profit they're going to earn. We've also given some examples along the right-hand side. So if you see that that lined note paper next to the RG sample, 3 different examples of income. And it's through a mixture of personal use, retailing, and recruiting. And it's interesting, I've been using this now, along with a few of us who are on the projects team, for about 4 weeks. And these pages is what I see the light bulb start to go off. They understand that they can, someone called it mix and match, or pick and mix, to do their 4 CCs from the very first month. And they can see it because we've laid out 3 examples. It also sets the expectation right from the beginning that they're going to have to do some work to earn the income. They're going to have to use the products, retail some products, sponsor some people into their team to grow that income. And example 3 shows if they want to earn more, they need to do more. But it's the light bulb of clear understanding of what and how they're going to earn their income. And it's like a fog just lifts after we've explained the percentages. So on the right-hand side, we then take them through supervisor. And for me, this supervisor page clearly shows the importance of 4 CCs. That if they can do 4 CCs, all they're doing is duplicating that. And then we show examples of how they're going to earn the income at a supervisor level. And again, it's about giving them the best tracks to run on, making it really, really clear about what they need to do, how they need to do it, and what income they can expect. And we've done that again for assistant manager and manager. Who's really excited about these few pages? This will help you explain and show what we do and how we do it, and it will help your new person grasp it so much quicker, which means you'll have people achieving 4 CCs much, much quicker and duplicating that much, much quicker. On the following page, you can see here we've added the 2 manager plans, the 5 months to manager plan, the 6 months to manager plan. And what I have found is, because they've understood these 4 pages significantly better, by the time we now get to describing the 2 routes to manager, they get it. They get it. And quite often in my experience, when we talk about manager, people know that manager is this big ethereal thing over there somewhere. It's where you earn the money, but it's over there. And what I believe these updates have done is brought manager actually over here. And they can see if you want to do it in 5 months, it requires a bit more work. If you want to go at a slightly steadier pace, it's over 6 months. But what's really exciting is whether you're working at 120 case credits or 150 case credits, what I wanted to really highlight is just under each example. You'll see under the example of 6 months to manager plan, it's 11 people doing 4 CCs a month, right? And when you can explain it like that, they kind of go, oh, well, that's achievable. Isn't that what you want? Is that belief building right from the first planning meeting? So really take a few moments in your planning meetings to go through what it would take, how many team members and what each of them are doing. Again, it reinforces the business building principle of 4 CCs. Everybody happy with that so far? Show me you're happy. Thank you. Right, here we go. So retailing, a couple of really exciting updates here. On the show and retail side, number 2, showcasing the products. We've added aloe bars as one of the popular, who's excited about that? Aloe bars is one of the popular methods of retailing. We've also updated the bottom left-hand corner to emphasize the aloe drinks tri-packs. The tri-packs are powerful. So it's a prompt to encourage you to chat through the tri-packs with your new team member. Product launches, business launches, stays about the same. But this is another major update, which I have found, again, it helps to build a deeper understanding right from the beginning. So we have now put the details in of Experience Pack, the C9, and Advance Your Business Pack. And when you look at the Advance Your Business Pack, bottom right, we've given examples of what products could be put together in an Experience Pack. And under each section, there's space for names, who you're going to share it with. So it's about prompting activity from the beginning. And prompting the activity which will lead to their 4 CCs, which will lead to their income. So you can see the book flows quite nicely. So those are quite exciting pages. So building your team has remained pretty much the same. A couple of updates with who your first 5 key people are, getting them to think about the characteristics of people that they know. Space for who do you know list. So there's a blank page now, so if people don't have a printer and they want to photocopy it, they can to get their list underway. Memory jogger, profiling sheet. This is one I know a lot of people, hey, I've just seen people go, yay! I've just seen it. So, example on the left, a blank one on the right, where you see the major changes. You've got space for a lot of writing. We've reversed it. The contact details are at the top, and you've got loads of space now to be writing your approach, what you're going to say, and any notes about that individual person. And they can photocopy it. This is also really exciting. You know, we have to be current, we have to be aware of how people are communicating and the different ways people are communicating today. So top right-hand corner, Jane very thankfully has put together some messages. So if people usually chat to their contacts via Messenger or WhatsApp, and it would seem really weird to pick up the phone, well, they can now send a little message with some great words there. Who likes that? Thank you, Jane. So, take a few moments to read through that, because you'll find that helpful in helping your new people get started. So, what else? This pretty much stays the same. Activity tracker, you've got example. This is a huge deal. 7-day plan. If we don't plan it, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we've given you a really detailed example of what goes in a 7-day plan, so that when you're ready to take your person through a 7-day plan, you've got an example. So it's not you telling them, it's what the process is asking of them. And that takes you through the updates of the first steps to manager. We've added in just a really, really tiny little overview of the 2 new skincare products, so you've got that in there as well. And you've got some note pages at the back. So that's the first steps to manager and the current updates and why. You know, for me, the first planning meeting is all about helping someone to start smart, start strong, and stay strong. And the variable in that planning meeting is not just about your new person, it's actually about you and your style, your planning style, your leadership style. And I want to recommend a CD, whether you have been in the business 5 minutes or 15 or 20 years. I've listened to this CD over probably 5 times. It's short, sharp, and it packs a punch. Because the First Steps to Manager book is a tool. But it's not the tool that's going to create magic. It's how the tool is used. And you're the artist wielding this tool. So I just want to take you a quick flash through what you're going to get from this CD and how it relates to planning meetings, particularly those first few planning meetings where you're building the relationship and building trust. So this CD, and in our planning system, it's all about helping someone to start strong, start smart, and stay strong. What business are we in? This is an emphasis and a reminder that we're in the business of developing relationships. And to develop relationships, it's about developing a deep understanding of what their values are, what motivates them. And it's a business of listening. Too often when I'm working with team members who are struggling to get duplication, a question I ask them is, in your next planning meeting, I want you to make a mental note, the split of time of how much you're talking and how much they're talking. So if you want to learn more about your new FBO, talk less and listen more. And that's really important right at the beginning when we go through the goals and dreams. You know, what do you fill the room with? This is an interesting one. You know, do you fill the room with excitement, with your vision, with your passion, with your belief, or are you bringing yesterday's disappointments into the meeting? Are you bringing your desperation to achieve the next mission on the marketing plan to the meeting? Are you pushing and shoving or showing and listening? So it's about raising your awareness as a leader, because whether you have one person in your team or like Jane have 1 million, you're still a leader. And it's still a journey of personal development and growth and just being aware of what you bring to the table. And are you doing a checkup from the neck up? I know, I'll put my hand up, I know I've blown people out of the water because I'm pushing too fast, not listening enough, distracted. So it's a constant reminder to put our best foot forward. You know, how well do I know my team? And it starts off with getting a deeper understanding of what motivates them and what their goals are, but it's also about learning about their learning styles. You know, I've recruited quite a number of people this year, recruited a good batch in the last couple of months, and at least one person haven't even met her yet. She got her box at the beginning of September because her learning style is go away, I want to use your products, I want to do my own research, and she's just messaged me on Friday saying, I'm ready to meet. Can we meet next week? Or you'll work with some people who have retailed everything out of their Start Your Journey pack within the first day of receiving it. So Tom Barry will take you through working with these different learning styles and making sure you're adapting and mirroring your style to give them the best possible start. And finally, you know, are you creating an environment where people can learn? I know sometimes I get a little impatient. I know you wouldn't believe it, would you? My team, be nice to me. I can, because I believe in forever. I have unshakable belief. Whatever disappointments come my way, they're just part of the journey. And so I know what's possible. And sometimes I think, you know, I want people to go faster, but learning is learning. And so it's about doing, I guess, being self-aware of, are you creating a safe environment for people to learn? Do they feel entirely comfortable asking the same question 150 times? So again, in this CD, it'll take you through a process of self-awareness so that you are using the tool, the First Steps to Manager, in the best way possible, because the variable is you. And if you want to create magic and get that exponential growth and get that duplication to help people start smart, start strong, and stay strong, it's about how you use that tool. So I would encourage all of you to get that CD. It'll play a big role in helping you to become the best sponsor that you can be. And if you haven't got the new version of the First Steps to Manager, please go out and get it. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who worked on the latest version, because it's fantastic. So thank you, everyone.